Oh, I'm just too tired for this. Randy, what's today's deck?
Oh, the call sheet says no bitches?
Artifacts. Let's meet Azorius Affinity, aka Extreme Robot Couponing. Mana makes the world of magic go round, and these players took a look at all the dirty rampers and said a little bit too proudly, if we can't beat them, we'll lie on our taxes. The backbone of these decks are the two creatures, the Frogmite and the Mere Enforcer. I know on the surface that's going to sound a little ridiculous. Even in Pauper, a 4-mana 2/2 and a 7-mana 4/4 are so brazenly expensive and useless, you might confuse them for some type of Robo-Kardashian. But their saving grace is that just like their namesakes, they love shiny stuff. They have the ability, affinity for artifacts, which means for every artifact you own, they cost one less. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to fill our decks with so many useless artifacts, we will be playing them for free. That's right, if you pile up enough useless junk, you can convince the game to give you expensive junk for free because you've earned it by being so good at having other junk, which I'm pretty sure is how Donald Trump bought all of his casinos. And that was totally fine, right? Now, before we get too carried away, free is free, but 2/2s and 4/4s just aren't going to cut it. So how do we actually win? On top of these bogus creatures, we're also going to be taking all that glitters, which will buff them to approximately 69/69, because no capitalist metaphor would be complete without a literal pile of money beating you to death. But it's a trap to bling out your Kardashians. Instead, you want to put all the glitters onto the unsuspecting ginger brute. After all, no matter how big your Mere Enforcers get, they can still be blocked. The little cracked out cookie that could is going to get beyond many of your opponent's creatures on account of their first ability, which I believe reads, I'm fast as fuck, boy. With the death via bedazzling out of way, let's talk land base. It actually matters here. Wizards, in their infinite wisdom, decided to print a bunch of lands that count as artifacts, meaning for this deck, they count twice. Each shit. Green, they count once, because they count towards affinity, and then again because they actually make mana. So some of them are going to come in tapped, but we don't care. We're cheating. We're ahead of the curve, and even if they do come in tapped, we're still going to play zero-cost artifacts like the Ornithopter. You can think of that as land, but it flies. And if that weren't enough, we're also going to bring the Springleaf Drum to turn our Ornithopter into land, but it flies and is also a mana rock because... Now, I've talked a very big game about all these cards we're going to vomit out, but not where we're going to get them from. And card advantage remains the #1 way to win at Magic and Valentine's Day, so we do need some of that. And if you didn't hate the word affinity yet, you will after you meet Thoughtcast, the #1 most efficient card these decks are ever going to play. We've also got the 2 1-drops, Thraben Inspector and the Moon Circuit Hacker, and hey, these guys are fair, right? It's 1 mana, make a clue token, 1 mana, get a card if you manage to hit. That's cool, right? Wrong. They are diversity hires. Of One Mind is here to give us that good speciest card draw. And last but not least, this deck is bringing 1 spell they do actually have to tap their artifacts for, but because we're a blue deck, it's a counterspell. So if you are or know an Azorius player who wants to wield the same unholy economic might that a green player does every second of their accursed lives, consider playing this deck this weekend in my online Pauper 60-card tournament. It's free to enter. We have 20 slots left in our 128-person bracket, and the prize pool is up over $500 thanks to viewers like you. If you want to get in on the action or donate to the cause, join my Discord via the link tree in my bio. And remember, stay toxic.